Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Alan Smason, and welcome once again to NOLA Theater Talk. This is part of the NOLA Theater Folk Facebook group that we have, that we basically talk about theater. We also broadcast to the theatercriticism.com Facebook page, as well as my own YouTube channel. Those of you who are looking in tonight, listening in, please note that in the event that you want to leave a word or comment, question, whatever, you need to be able to go to the StreamYard.com/Facebook site to give permission to StreamYard, which is the platform we use here, to give them the permission to essentially put your name up through Facebook, because it is a third-party proprietary kind of a situation that Facebook wants to make sure that nobody who doesn't have permission is trying to use your name, etc. So that's why that goes on. Again, tonight we're going to be talking about something very interesting. It borders on sort of the surreal in a sense. It also borders on theater and is really an intersection in many ways of the concept of theater and live theater, and the concept of what I would say computing and having fun with the whole aspect of escape rooms. Escape rooms, many people know, are a recent invention. Many people enjoy the thrill of getting together with friends and family and being given a certain allotted time to try to break out of a room using whatever wiles that you have to come up with the solution that's necessary to get you out of the room, or to stop a particular event from happening, a bomb going off or something terrible like that. And again, if you are successful, then you get a little pat on the back, and you get the accolades of your family and friends that you have been successful. And if the bomb explodes, or you're too late when something terrible happens, and you try again. So we're going to talk a little bit about escape rooms and the concept that has been carried forth from some actors who, being forced into a pandemic, kind of used their thinking caps and came up with a way to combine the thrill of a escape room with the necessity of having to do so in a virtual setting. As opposed to being there, you're sort of doing it from the confines of the internet, as opposed to being up front and close. So again, I wanted to welcome everybody tonight to the show. The first person I'm going to bring up is to me, not Margot. I'm trying to delete some of these things. Is a person I've really enjoyed watching as an actor through many years. A Big Easy Award-winning actress. In many ways, some of our most fierce acting ever seen was done by this remarkable actor. And again, I'd like to welcome to our room the first of the three players we're going to talk to tonight. And that would be, of course, Becca Chapman. Welcome, Becca.
Hi. Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing it like everybody else is, right? Thank you for your kind words, too.
Oh, no. Yeah. If we have time, I might even be able to pull up one of those old pictures of you holding one of those old Big Easy Awards.
Oh, gosh.
But no, actually, it's funny because I used to talk with your parents on Saturday nights at the restaurant I would usually frequent, and they would say, "Well, she's doing this and she's doing that." So I keep up with you through your phone. And again, let me bring in sort of one of your longtime partners, person who worked at Southern Rep, and who I knew in other aspects of being involved with acting. But you and he both went, if I'm not mistaken, to clown school, did you not?
We went to various different training opportunities and trained with various different teachers to study clowning. Yes.
All right. So anyway, let's bring in Alex Smith, if I may. Alex, come on in. Welcome to the show.
Hey, everybody.
We're not doing a mime tonight, so please make sure you.
Sorry, it's all old habits die hard.
I understand. Again, just wanted to, welcome you to the show. And again, you two have been together for a long time, but the third part of the triumvirate, as you were, is sort of new to the scene, and actually not from New Orleans, or at least hadn't been in New Orleans a long time. So can you tell me a little bit about him, Becca? You're probably the best person to
Absolutely.
talk about.
Yes. Calvin Kaiku is an incredible magician. And we met him through his work at the Medical Clown Project, because both Calvin and I co-founded, co-founded Prescription Joy, and invited Calvin of the Medical Clown Project to come train us. And he's an amazing magician, a phenomenal clown in circus as well. And he also does coaching as well for businesses. So he's got all the talents, and a wonderful musician as well.
All right. Well, I guess without any further ado, if you will allow us to, Calvin Kaiku, there you are.
Hey.
All right.
I heard there was going to be some miming. We're all stuck in digital boxes.
I know.
All four of us. There we are. So Calvin, how long ago did you two meet up with you and Becca?
Well, let's see here. I think it was probably mid 2018, I believe. That was when I was I came out to New Orleans to train Prescription Joy clowns. After they had gotten in contact with one of our clowns through the Medical Clown Project, Hannah Gaff, incredible clown and human being as well. She trained with another teacher with Becca, and they met, and then they contacted me through that, and so since 2018.
Yeah, clowns just find each other, there's like a separate phone, a clown carrier pigeon. It all just kind of works out.
It's also a red phone, but it's actually just a big red nose. Just you pick it.
I guess the question is, how in the world did you go from being clowns to coming up with escape room, via the internet? So whose idea was it, or was it sort of a genesis?
I think it was a group thought, because I had worked for a year at Escape My Room down here in New Orleans after leaving a full-time position teaching, and I was balancing that and teaching and Prescription Joy. And then when the pandemic hit, we were all kind of doing these online escape rooms because we kind of all got hooked on them after that. And then we kind of thought, after doing several online ones, like, hey, it'd be kind of cool. Could we mix live performance and escape rooms? Could we tie the story element? Because we have so much experience writing and performing, we thought, why not mix the two?
So my question is, are all the other escape rooms all done taped? Are they all already in the can, so to speak, or what?
It depends. Some of them still have live attendance, or sometimes it's a person going into an already built escape room with a GoPro on their head.
Right.
There is, I think, one other company that's trying to mix acting as well as escape rooms as well.
So this is kind of unusual for most of the people who are involved in escape rooms, whether they're online or not, because there are live actors actually interacting with the people who are playing, right?
Yes, more than a game master, but like a character.
Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And so you thought about it, and what was it that you all decided to do in terms of did you say, well, we can't use Zoom entirely because Zoom only brings people in. We have to have a platform that allows them to interact with the different rooms, etc. So who knew enough about computers to know where to go or what to do?
Mostly, wait a minute, I'm going to point towards where Calvin is. We toyed with a lot of ideas sitting at the kitchen table at Becca and Calvin's house, and I'm like, okay, how do we go through this? And then Calvin had introduced OBS Studio to us a long time ago when we were talking about how we could possibly use it for healthcare clowning and for our Tuesday Stoop days that we did with Prescription Joy Medical Clown Project together, where we sit on the stoop out front and play music. And so we were like sitting here, like, what if we could kludge OBS Studios through Zoom to make an escape room? And then it just started like bubbling off ideas. It's like, oh, we could do that. I could do that. We started kind of flexing each of our skill sets. Like I was doing sound design and we were all writing it, and Calvin's got the graphic design skills and and the video skills that Beck and I don't have.
and again, OBS Studio is an open architecture type of a program, isn't it?
Yeah, it's an open source software that anyone can use. So if you went and wanted to explore OBS and use it for your type of events, you can certainly use that. I wish we can get a sponsor of OBS Studio, but it's free. So hey, it's available for everybody. And the beautiful thing is that you can use it for a lot of other events, online events, and we decided that was the best platform to be able to play all these videos and graphics that we wanted to share through Zoom to create the feeling of being in an escape room, but it's like this digital world that we suck people into this Zoom platform through OBS.
Okay, and now it's actually two components though, because you do utilize Zoom to get the players into the room, and then OBS is what the program runs on, correct?
Absolutely, and the way it actually really works is allowing OBS to play the visuals, but we decided we want to integrate all of the tools that are in hand of Zoom. So everything from using the chat box to backgrounds and all the different things that you can do on Zoom, we decided to integrate it and use it as part of the experience. So anyone who maybe doesn't know too much about Zoom, by the end of it, they know it very well.
Yes.
And those who've been on Zoom for a long time get to explore other tools that they haven't used before, or they get to use it in a way that is very fun and almost reinvigorating their experience on Zoom.
So one of the things we wanted to do was not like apologize for the format. Like, a lot of times it's really hard because we have to like try and fit theater into these little boxes and stuff like that. But for once we wanted to be like, this is written for Zoom. This is done on this online format. So it's no like, okay, so imagine that I'm walking off stage now or anything like that. It's just like, no, this is done and it's flexing Zoom as best as possible. And that format, the online format, the little boxes, the screen interactions, like it's written for that as opposed to trying to write despite it or to try and write, apologizing for it. So that was a big thing we wanted to do too, was like confirm, yep, you're at your computer, let's go play, don't worry about it.
All right, let's start with the most important thing of the evening to talk about. I have a little Courvoisier VSOP that I'm having. I earlier tonight had a cocktail with my dinner, so this is my second, and I'm not going to have any more than this tonight. So, but this was what I had to have because I had to have a drink. I had to pour it quickly, or else we were going to be late tonight, and I didn't want it to be too late. So Becca, ladies first. What do you have in there?
It's a hot toddy without the toddy, so it's just the hot.
In a Save the Ocean mug.
Yes, save the ocean, everyone. Save the ocean.
Okay.
But I will probably have a Ramazzotti after this because I love my aperitif.
What is a Ramazzotti? I don't know what that is.
It's an Italian aperitif that I love very much.
Calvin, you're up next. What do you got?
I have an invisible drink. It's a can. It's a sparkling water. Very low calories.
Right.
And it's a key lime flavor.
Hence the green is what the key is to the
exactly
the key lime.
That's the first key to this escape room.
I got you. Wait a minute. The what?
This is the first key to your escape room.
Okay, I just want to make sure you didn't say something. All right, go. Say the secret word. You went there. All right, go ahead, Alex. What do you got?
In my beautiful prescription joy mug that I happen to be handling, I have some peppermint green tea.
Okay. So again, I wanted to try to make sure that people understood what we were talking about tonight, and y'all went all out with this thing. I'll be in the interest of cutting to the chase. I actually partook in a particular session that you had, not this past Saturday, but the Saturday before, and
made a record. Just saying.
Yep, record
time.
In record time.
Yes, well, I never take the credit for that because I have to tell you, I had a very good team.
Yeah,
and I may have helped a little bit, but I think they really were much more into it, and as a result, you know, we got to experience it first and foremost. And again, a minimum of what, 2 people for a session? Is that about right? Or do you want to have 4?
4 to 8. If there's like a couple that's like, well, there's no way we can get 4 people, but we really want to do it, then we'll figure something out, of course. But
but 4 works best.
More fun. Yeah, it's more
and
fun.
And then up to usually 6, but you might be able to squeeze 2 more in if you.
Yes, 4 to 8. 4 to 8 is the go-to.
And we can make accommodations. Anybody out there in internet land, if you want to bring more people, just let us know. We'll figure it out.
I mean, in fact, we just got an inquiry for to do a holiday party that they wanted to have about almost 15 people. So we're trying to fit in about 10 to 15 people into this experience, and we're going to just make it extra fun, especially with the fact that the 3 of us are professional performers. We can make it extra special, extra fun, just because we have this backbone of an escape room. Doesn't mean that we're restricted to that. We can add other elements of us coming in and really pestering them and interacting with each and every guest. So even though there's 10 to 15 people, it's pretty full. Everyone's gonna be engaged.
Yeah, and the puzzle itself, just to piggyback on that, is non-linear structure. So an escape room, if a puzzle is linear, it's you have to do the next step to the next step to the next.
Right.
But ours, it's kind of just fair game wherever you go. So we have to be on our toes immensely, because if you go in this direction, we got to be ready for everything over here. And if you go in this direction, we got to be ready for everything over here.
But that's the best part about having the live actors is because we're live performers, it's not canned. You can go wherever, and we'll just yes and it with improv within character.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, and again, and the name of this again, I'm going to absolutely break the law now. Cyber Escape Live.
Woo!
There you go. And as a result now, for the remainder of the show, the logo for Cyber Escape Live will be up in the upper right-hand corner there. So there you go. Yep. You see that? So anyway, so I want to try to get if I can, a little experience for everybody to give them an opportunity to see it. Now, I hesitate to use the one that we used for us, which was the award-winning group, but I'm looking to see if I can find. I know you had some headshots, and I wanted to see. I think we had one that I wanted to try to upload as well, which was a group shot. And I don't think this is it, but let's see if this is the right one.
I hope it's not the one where we're trying to do YMCA without the A.
YMCA.
No, actually, I know we had one the other day. And oh yeah, I see where it is. Okay, very good. Yeah, this was your this is a group, and then it gives you an idea about what it's going to look like. So, like if people are actually online, this is kind of what they're going to see, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you've got people with a background that says Cyberscape Live. Then you've got the actor that would be you in the upper left-hand corner there, Becca. And then you've got 1, 2, 3. Was that 4 people in there?
Let's see what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
about 7. 7 people.
7. Okay. So again, and they're all trying to go into the different rooms and see exactly what's going on. I've got a clip that I want to play of our group, but I think you also had sent me a clip earlier of another group that was doing it, and I want to see if maybe, I want to see if maybe I can find that first, because here we go. I'm going to open this one up first, and I'm going to try to share this one out. Let me see if I can get this one going. There we go. And we should be able to share this out so everybody can hear it as well. So give me a second, and let's see if we can do this the right way. I think this is good. And here we go.
Oh, it's pictures in the way.
Oops.
I think there's pictures in the way.
Whoop, there it is. Yeah.
So here's what we need you to do. We need you to figure out the plan, Big Bad's plan, and stop them at the same time. Do you think you can do that?
Yeah.
pays to be a nerd sometimes.
This is a full escape room experience.
Oh, I was like, I'm sweating. Oh, worry.
I think this is incredible.
Me too.
I've learned to turn that stuff off as soon as I can. Anyway, because it'll go into the next one if you're not careful.
Oh, this is
So
true.
that gives you really a great opportunity to feel what it's like to be there. And I do have the record-breaking group that will come on later on. But let's talk a little bit about the whole idea. How did this actually take shape? And I believe you said something along the lines when I talked to you originally that this thing took something on the order of like 3 months from start to finish to actually to build it.
Yeah.
So what was the more difficult part of it? Was it the interaction of the OBS with Zoom? Was it getting Zoom to come up to the task, or was it just a matter of coding or something along those lines? What was the deal?
I have to say the OBS and the Zoom integration was probably the easiest part because it's pretty straightforward. But when it came to the creation, the video editing, making sure all of the videos are talking with each other, and all the buttons to put everything together. I think that was probably the most time consuming, at least for me. But I think overall it was pretty even in terms of we all like hunkered down and created the writing, and then we got to the next phase of the process of developing all the assets to it, and then the putting it all together. I think it was all equally pretty time consuming.
Yes.
Becca, what did you do in terms of your input?
I help with the story creation and also help develop puzzles. Luckily, I have the background of Escape My Room to kind of help, because I worked there for a year, learning what it was like to go, the mindset a person needs to go into it was really helpful. And that escape room, actually, though it's not online, it is like an in-person one. As an attendant, you are taught to like be a little bit of a character in the space. So that it was a good thing to take in mind too. Story creation, puzzle development, also having a teaching background really helps with puzzle development. And then also doing a lot of business research, researching other escape rooms online, and even asking advice. Because something that's really great about the online escape room community and the escape room community in general is it's not competitive, because it's so addicting and fun. If another escape room gets a group hooked, everyone benefits from it. So it's actually a very beautiful community to be a part of.
And Alex, what was your contribution?
Oh boy.
A lot.
I did a majority of the sound design, a little bit of the video editing and stuff like that, and writing with Becca and Calvin. That's the part that I think I enjoy the most. I also have the distinction of being a really bad puzzle solver. I'm a little dumb, and it actually really helps a lot, because I'd be like, guys, I couldn't solve this. There's no way somebody's gonna get that. And we were, well, maybe, and then like, guys, that puzzle's too hard, or we need to have more clues or different clues or something like that. So I felt like I could be like because I've probably done the least amount of escape rooms between everybody, and I'm also, again, I don't know if I just have that brain style or something. Like, guys, that one's too hard, or oh no, we could solve that, So I think that tended to be my role, as like the low end of the puzzle solving ability was where I was.
I would disagree. We've done escape rooms with you before. I disagree, sir. What Alex was incredibly good at is being really, really strict about, is this in the world of the play or not? Because there's still some escape room tricks that you kind of end up, if you kind of rely on those, they do take you out of the world a little bit. So there was some ideas where like Calvin and I were like, oh, we could just do this. And then Alex would always be like, but is that in the world of the play? How does that make sense? So he was very good about being very thorough of that consistency.
So, he was the dramaturg. Is that right?
Yeah.
Kind of. That's kind of the eye that I like to take on it. I was like, okay, does this make sense in the world of people trying to hack into a thing? Or, oh, when you do this, it does that. Yeah, but how? Where's the missing link or something like that? And it was kind of neat to be able to. Well, it was fun because they had such great puzzle ideas, and they could just throw everything at the wall, and they're like, that doesn't fit the story. What if we took it and tweaked it a little bit so that it would fit in the world of the play? And that was actually a really cool part of the collaboration. Was where I lacked in like puzzle making abilities. I could at least like have the dramaturgical eye on it.
Yeah, and Becca also had a really great, on top of Alex's like incredible job of keeping us thematically in line. Becca did such an incredible job of researching different resources, of seeing what works best with online escape rooms, because we've done a lot of in-person escape rooms, but going online is a completely different thing. But she found a lot of resources for us. So pulling from that information and then having Alex keeping us in line with the story was I think really, really necessary in order for us to come up with the product that we have now.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I'd encourage anybody who is watching tonight, and again, this will be archived, so you can share this with your friends and family and everybody else, going forward. But if anybody's out there listening in and wants to know a little bit more about it, has a question, feel free to put the post in YouTube or on the Facebook groups that we've got out there. Again, those of you watching might be watching on the NOLA Theater Folk Facebook group or on the theatercriticism.com Facebook page. And again, I reiterate, not theatercriticism.com, because that really is a dedicated website for just theater reviews. This is the support page on Facebook or on YouTube. And if you're watching on any of those channels and can make a comment or want to make a comment, please feel free. I'll try to see whether or not it'll come up. Usually, we're able to post the comments of live viewers, as we see them. So rest assured that if you do make a comment, I'm going to try to post it and let other people see it as well. We have a lot of other ground to cover tonight too, because I would like to find out, as actors, what you all bring to this story that you don't think other escape rooms would do. What is it that you have, having been in the acting or even in the clown field, for Calvin and Alex's experience as well. Becca, what does that bring to the equation?
I feel, one thing with both Prescription Joy and Medical Clown Project right now, we are virtually visiting our locations in Zoom. So for Zoom, that's a whole other play field for us right now, because we're connecting with patients fully leaning into Zoom with like them touching the camera and it changes the background, or them shaking the iPad and it moves with us. So we're finding we already have an imaginative relationship with connecting with someone live and leaning into Zoom at the same time. So I think the three of us in particular bring that skill to this. And also just as performers and that desire to just feel that connection between an audience, that hunger is so strong right now. And so three people coming from a performance background, hungry for that, I feel brings it up to a whole new level. But whatever you guys think too.
It's fun to have the pre-show jitters again, which I hadn't had in a long time since I've been on stage. And to be getting ready for it, people are in the room, they're getting ready. We're gonna let them in from the lobby and getting costume pieces or what have you, and making sure settings are right. So it's like I'm flexing a little bit the old tech director brain of getting some settings right, and then realizing, oh yeah, I'm performing too. Ooh, and we're looking over each other like, this is pre-show jitters, just like if we were going on stage. This is great. And then you get to have the humans there and interact with them, and they can change how you're interacting and stuff. And that's the thing that just sets it apart from anything like film that makes it live, is something they say is going to change the performance, and it's going to change how we act with them, and we're going to see what they're wearing or see what they're doing and comment on or interact or work with that. So it really is an interactive experience, and it reminds me so much of doing shows like Complete Works of William Shakespeare Abridged, where you're spending time with the crowd, or an improv show with a loose structure where you're doing crowd work and stuff. And it was just so nice to have those pre-show jitters again. It felt great.
I have to ask Calvin. You come from the clowning aspect that they are now part of, as you will, but you actually had come from that as a background. Had you been a performer before that as well?
Yeah, I'm a professional magician and circus artist, and I've been doing that since after I graduated college. Went to clown school straight out of college, and then started working professionally in different shows, jumping from one show to another. So it's been a lot of fun doing that, leading up until this moment where I get to incorporate what I know, and see how it could fit into a show like this. And I tell you, I mean, to answer your other question before of what we have that is different from everyone else, I would say that of all the people who got so lucky to get stuck in the same germ sphere for the last 6-7 months or whatever, how long it's been, I think the three of us with our goofiness and our chemistry of who we are as people. And spending time with each other, for so long, where we can't hang out with anyone else, it kind of took our relationship of our creativity to a whole new level. That really forced us to bring something that is very unique to us. That the storyline is fun, but it's also silly and wacky, but also at times that can be a little serious. So I think, and also with these elements of that it's magical. So all of the pieces that we have, all the different elements of ingredients that we put in, that is uniquely our personality. I don't think anyone else can take that away from us.
I want to find out from you too, Calvin, while you have a moment, and Becca, Alex, feel free to jump in. I remember back in 2005 or 6, probably 6, reports coming in from Israel about how there were clowns going to different hospitals.
Dream doctor.
They were using, the therapy of engaging the patients, particularly young people, but other people as well, with the clown aspect, as opposed to, that was a different kind of bedside manner, if you will, than what a doctor or nurse would give. And I don't know whether or not Prescription Joy sprang from that or was inspired by that. Does it have any background that's similar to that? Tell me a little bit about.
I can let's see, how much time do I have for the history of it? I mean, this all actually, if you go back to Dream Doctors back in 2006, yes, they got created in Israel. If you go back even further to Big Apple Circus in New York, they had a branch called Clown Care Unit, and one of the clowns, or a few of the clowns from Big Apple Circus, one of them, Michael Christensen, visited a hospital, was asked to visit a hospital in New York back in 1986. And that was the first documented experience of specifically clown doctors, clowns that are in this clown wardrobe, and also clown or doctor-like going into hospitals to entertain. And at the time, it was 3 of them. It was a trio. And they had 3 clown doctor names. Their names are escaping me, but that inspired other people across the world that started spreading, and that's where Dream Doctors came from. And then Dream Doctors took it to a whole new level. They really put time into the research and the development of it. It really found the science of what we do, of the engagement, of also the benefits, what it can imply of how you can lower the amount of stress for a kid before they go into a surgery.
Yeah.
And in fact, they even have a less anxiety getting anesthesia going into the process. So there's all this research that they created, and that inspired a whole bunch of other organizations throughout the world. There's like dozens and dozens of organizations all over doing therapeutic healthcare clowning. And that's actually where Medical Clown Project came in 2010, where Jeff Raz and Sherry Sherman, Jeff Raz is a former Cirque du Soleil clown. Sherry is a psychologist. She had a clinical practice, and they married the two and brought it into the hospital, not just for pediatric patients, but for those in memory care, working through Alzheimer's, and using healthcare clowning to really ease the stress of someone who is going through dementia. So through that process, we're now in this place of how can we develop this even more for older adults and other environments like disaster relief. Right now there's hurricanes and fires and Red Cross. So we are working in that front as well in terms of healthcare clowning.
And although I never believe that what goes on with movies is actual reality, but Patch Adams, he wore a little clown nose on and I don't know whether or not that was true to life or that was Robin Williams's invention, but I like to think that Robin Williams was inspired by whatever Patch Adams did and that Patch Adams did.
Patch Adams is a real person and did that. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's really kind of interesting. I come from, believe it or not, from a background with a connection to clowning as well, because my mother and father and I were very, very instrumental in putting on the Shrine Circus that was here in New Orleans. So I would handle the publicity for many years, and I would meet a lot of the people who were clowns, and I would have that aspect as well. So I never really wanted to run away and join the circus, though, after having had that experience. I can tell you that went out of my mind right away.
It's interesting that you bring up to like the circus clown, because with healthcare clowning, it's so interesting because there are different kinds of clowns. There's the Commedia dell'arte style, there's the old white face clowns, there's the theatrical clown, and then there's like the healthcare clown. And a healthcare clown is kind of like a molding and shaping of theatrical clown and perform in like a circus type clown, but it's so different. Rarely do you have the face paint, rarely do you have the crazy hair, rarely do you really trigger any kind of clown phobia, because it did not do anybody favors that likes the word clown. That movie was not helpful. But the wonderful thing about the healthcare clown, one of the things that I love so much about the work is it's about human connection more than it's about tricks or jokes or like trying to do a balloon animal or something like that. It's more of this slightly heightened character that is you, just with a volume knob, that gets to interact with humans on a little bit of a level of naivete, who are coming in and not really caring about the ailment. We're here to treat the healthy part of the patient, and or human, or even the staff and the family. So that's one of the things that's always funny is whenever somebody says, oh, what do you do? It's like, oh, well, you see, I help run this nonprofit Prescription Joy. We're healthcare clowns, not the creepy clowns. And I always have to, because it can be so triggering for a lot of folks. But if there's other terms that like Calvin has been talking about, like joy practitioners, where yes, we are using clown and we're using a lot of theatrical clown, a fair amount of circus clown ideas, but really the healthcare clown is its own like breed. Is that fair to say, guys? That's kind of what we're thinking about when we're talking about the healthcare clown?
I think there's this. It is another kind of breed, but it's also like this idea of that it's kind of boiling it down more to what the essence of clown is. And I would say that we just use that more of an embodiment and a tool for healing.
Yep. It's going in with the clown perspective, which is total naivete is what we call it. So going into the environment and not seeing a child's bed or an adult's bed, but actually it's a Mario Kart and having a totally different relationship to the space after that, which is kind of what Cyber Escape Live is trying to do too. is what healthcare clowns do is we go in the environment and try to give patients a sense of control. And what Cyber Escape Live is trying to do is give people in the middle of a pandemic where you feel like you have no control of society at this moment, a chance to have control and maybe even defeat something.
Yeah. And you know, I assume that you mentioned like the sad clown, like an Emmett Kelly would probably not be the perfect person you want to have as your clown in the hospital room, right? Because he's not going to necessarily view and be.
Well,
It
I mean, it
depends.
depends.
Well, I don't
Jinx.
Oh.
There you go. But anyway, so let me go ahead and see if I can load up the other award-winning, as you were, the record-breaking group.
Yes.
Now this again took place not this past Saturday, 2 days ago, whatever, but it was actually 9 days ago, and we had people from. I know one was in Maryland. Was the other one in New York? There were two other people besides one person in middle of Louisiana, off of Alexandria, one here in New Orleans, and then I think one was in Maryland, and the other they might be in Maryland, but far enough away, all connected in one room, okay, and all talking to one another and looking at each other. So that was what was really amazing is that even though many people know what escape rooms are all about, here it's all being done virtually. So you could have literally somebody around the world, you know, in a different, exact opposite time zone, 12 hours or more, and they could still be playing with you in the daytime while you're in nighttime. So
yeah, which actually our very first people first room who purchased a hack attack room were a few people from Mexico.
Great. It was really great.
It sounds like my cue. Let me see if I can get this one share it out properly and make sure that the audio's on. And here we go.
Enjoy.
Make sure it starts. Gotta make sure it starts.
Boop. I'm gonna push play.
Hold on, button right
You have a growling dog.
There you go. I pushed it.
Something could be revealed.
Yeah, okay, try that. Smart people. So where can we go, guys? Wait a minute, hold on a second. All right, go back out again. Let's see what else is in here. You gotta be missing something. What do you guys do? I can figure this thing out.
This was great. Oh, I couldn't wrap my head around a cyber escape room. This is awesome.
Ta-da!
Ladies and gentlemen, you just watched the record-breaking team, the award-winning champions, to be unseated as soon as possible.
Never happened. It'll never happen.
Never gonna happen.
I'd like to think that that's the case, but you never know.
Well, when we get time to build another room, you'll have to be the first people to set the bar
right.
high.
You have to set the new
Anyway,
record on that.
it was really a lot of fun. I mean, you know, at one point, you almost get fatigued being in the room because, you keep trying to figure out how to do it as quickly as you can. And there comes a point in time where sometimes the brain sort of like says, stop, we got to start all over again. We got to figure this out. So I just warn everybody that try not to do a lot at once, try to take it. And, as with all of these escape rooms, as you know, Becca, there's never anything that's said or done that you don't see that doesn't sometimes or almost always come back up and be needed later on. So always pay close attention to whatever you're doing. And if anybody's going to ever beat our record-breaking time, it'll be because they paid attention to that last statement.
You are giving
being thrown right now.
So anyway, most important of all, though, let me tell everybody that this is something that they can book. How often during the day do you do these things? I mean, I know as often as you schedule, but I mean, there comes a point in time where you say, hey, I got to get some sleep, et cetera, too, and I got to have a life, I got to eat, et cetera. So what is the optimum number of these things that you're doing during a daytime?
We do 2 on Tuesday, 6 to 8. And then we do a Friday. We have 2 opportunities, 6 to 8. And then Saturday, I believe, is 2 to 8.
Yeah, there's 4 opportunities on
4
Saturday.
opportunities on Saturday.
And
then 3 on
yeah.
Sunday, or 4 on Sunday?
Free right now. And then, yeah.
At 12 to 6. Yeah.
All right, now, in other words, but you have to have some time in between to set the room back up and whatever. So you say 6 to 8. That's
Oh,
like
sorry.
is that
A
that's
6 o'clock and then an 8 o'clock.
Thank you.
Oh,
Sorry.
I got you. Okay.
2 opportunities.
Okay.
2 opportunities. Sorry, my
Okay.
brain.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Fortunately, one of the cool things about this escape room is a lot of the reset is pressing a few buttons. I watch with Calvin, who is, created all of it, and we're all learning the programming of it, because one of the really cool things that we did with this room, and that we're going to try and do with all the rooms, is any person can play any part once you have the training. We decided to just leave it like neutral, so that every character could just be played by anybody, so that we really can open it up to when it's time to hire other people, or it's time for one of us to take a break. We can slot someone else in. But when it comes time for reset, Calvin's like, bam, 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 bam. Okay, I'm reset, and I've got like, the part that I'm playing right now, 4 or 5 clicks, and then, I'm pretty much reset, get a lot of water, go to the bathroom, and then we're almost back. So that is one of the things about this that is probably different from an in-person escape room that Becca can speak to, is that the reset is 10 minutes. I mean, if we had to do a 5-minute turnaround, we could probably panic and do it.
So yeah, in other words, for a 1-hour session, you need time to explain to everybody what it is, to get them set up.
Yes.
One of the things that you've got, like for instance, Calvin's got his Cyber Escape Live background. So you encourage everybody to put the same background so that they all kind of look homogenous, as it were. So there's that aspect of it as well. And it takes time to get all of that done, and for get everybody to get in the room and ready to go. And then when you press the button, etc., then the timer starts. So you have to, I guess, keep to the timer no matter what happens. It's important. So and especially knowing that there's going to be another group coming in at 8, you got to get done. So you got to press that timer no later than a minute before 7, or even maybe 10 before 7. You only have that much time to get it all done. So that's important.
Which also keeps it like a show. There's a show has an opening time, a house opens, show opens, and then it typically closes at a certain time, and we take our bows, and then we move on to the next show.
So now here comes probably the most damning of all questions tonight. You've got one of these as a scenario. How soon will we see Cyber Escape Live 2 or Cyber Escape Live 3?
As soon as this room starts getting consistent, we've already started planning the next one. We want it to be more magic mystical themed. We already have like a lot of really good ideas for it. So we're still in kind of like the brainstorming, collecting, and we're also, the more people that book this experience, we can kind of watch interactions and kind of start figuring out, okay, what could people be hungry for next? And it'll help guide the next room.
I would definitely say that the next room won't take a full 3 months to do, because while we're also learning like the limitations and the advantages of the software, and being like, oh yeah, we can't do X, Y, and Z. That's physically impossible. Okay, rewrite. So now that we know a little bit more about the tools that we have, I think that our work can be streamlined like a lot, and we'll be able to be writing together a lot faster too. So I think I'm excited for the next one once this thing really gets coming along.
Yes, and it's been a really good challenge is making puzzles that are so collaborative, because normally in a regular escape room, you have an entire room. You guys can split up, divide, and conquer. But in this case, everyone's kind of focusing on the same thing. So the puzzles have to involve a lot of different brains. So that's been a fun challenge. But we're thinking if we finding creative ways to do that for the next room, to be able to split people up and stuff.
And to be perfectly frank, there are opportunities for you or other people to help guide the people in the room if they go off the rails somehow or other.
Within character, yes. Little guidances. And even sometimes I can't give it away, but there's 2 actors, and each one can help you, whether it's obvious or not. Yes.
I mean, it's just like a normal escape room, in-person escape room. There's an attendant there who's either on a microphone talking to you through a speaker or putting clues on a monitor that's inside the room. They're giving you clues if you need it. So there's that aspect that stays consistent with other escape rooms.
It's really fascinating. Let me see. I believe we might have. Oh, it looked like I had a comment there, but now I'm not seeing it. Oh, yeah. Wait a minute. Here it comes. Look at this.
Yay, Carol!
Oh, thanks, Carol.
Thanks,
She
Carol.
was amazing. She was
Yeah.
did such a great job.
Yeah,
Yep.
super clever.
She enjoys escape rooms, and
It's right.
I enjoy being with her and escaping into a room. There you go. So, do you know in terms of the process? Let's go over that now because we're down to less than 10 minutes of the show left. So if somebody wants to book the room, what do they have to do? They go where?
cyberescapelive.com.
Okay. And when they go to that site, what's the information they're going to have to give you in terms of the numbers of people, in terms of the time that they want, in terms of the day that they want? And then the charge is what, $30 per? Although I understand that for a limited time only, there may be a little bit of a discount.
Yes,
Okay.
for it is NOLA Theater Talk for I think through the end of the month. If you are watching this, Alan's amazing show, you can go in and your coupon is the code is NOLA Theater Talk, all caps, and you'll get 10% off your experience from now until the end of the month only. So don't miss it. Got to beat Alan's record.
Yeah,
Well,
schedule your rooms.
remember that's not going to happen.
So I think that sounds like a challenge for our viewers.
Yeah,
yeah, that's true. So Cyber Escape Live, and again, the discount code is NOLA Theater Talk.
Yes,
So-
I'm gonna make sure I texted it to you. I'm gonna make sure I said it right.
And
Hold on.
remember, it's the pretentious way of spelling theater. Okay, just
Oh yeah, NOLA Theater Talk.
with
Yep.
the RE. So just remember that's
There's only
it.
one way to spell theater.
that's right.
Well,
Right there.
This that you see here, but all caps, no spaces, NOLA Theater Talk. That'll get you
Okay.
that 10%.
so let me correct that so I make sure everybody sees it. No spaces, because
Yeah, all caps,
that
no
is a problem. All caps. Is that correct? You said.
Yeah.
All caps, no spaces.
No.
And if anybody's having problems with that coupon code, email cyberescapelive@gmail.com. We'll get you set up.
Or message us on our Facebook page.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or hit us up on Facebook. Oh, yeah, and if y'all are bored, be sure to make sure that you like and subscribe to Cyber Escape Live on Facebook. We do a lot of posts that pertain to the escape rooms we're working on. Oftentimes, they also have coupon codes if you can solve the riddle or get the right, or be one of the first ones to answer. So keep an eye out on our Facebook, too, to see updates and to possibly get yourselves some new discount codes.
All right, and I'm just trying to make sure I get this all right. Let me see something. Let's see. I made sure I saved it now. There we go. Let's see if that's right. How's that?
Oh, that sounds beautiful.
Yeah.
That's
All
great.
right, there you go. So anybody who wants to have the experience now, you can thank the generosity of Becca, Calvin, and Alex for making your cyber escape room a little bit less costly and probably 90% more fun.
And
So-
even if you played the full cost, you're gonna have an amazing time.
Right. And again, this might be something that you could do for gifting too. We have holidays that are coming up, and I'm thinking in terms of a lot of people can't leave their homes, and they can't see grandpa, they can't see their uncle or their cousins or whatever. This is an absolutely fantastic way to be with your family and to really have a common experience with them that you wouldn't be able to do because maybe they're at high risk and they can't see any visitors and they haven't been able to see visitors for the last 4 months or whatever. So it's an opportunity, and again, I think it'd be a lot of fun for people just to have as a family or as a group of friends getting together for whatever, having a good time and just enjoying themselves. Again, anybody out there want to make a comment or a question, we are still available to take your calls, as it were, on the comments that you can make. Yep, there they are making calls.
Oh, wrong number. Sorry.
I'm hoping that we get a couple more comments because there might be some people out there who don't know that this exists, and I really thought that this was a unique opportunity to talk about, particularly because the fact that you all have come from a background of acting and performing. In Calvin's case, magicians are a special breed of performers, not necessarily the same as an actor because they kind of write their own scripts. They're sort of directors and stage managers and actors all rolled into one. They pretty much and of course they write their own scripts, as I mentioned. So they pretty much decide what they need to do. Actors have to read a script that somebody else writes. They're directed by somebody else. So they're more malleable than a magician who kind of like sets his own fate, as it were. So I'm always respectful of that. By the way, you've been out to the Magic Castle.
Yes, I have twice.
Amazing experience, isn't it?
Yeah, it's so fun. So fun to be out there.
And I don't have
Magical.
Becca, Alex, have you ever been in Los Angeles, the Magic Castle?
No.
All right, so you
We'll have
can't
to go sometime.
you can't go unless you're invited by a member.
I can help with that.
I know someone.
Somebody.
I know a guy.
You know, eh?
I have a question actually for you, Alan, and you've done the escape room and you've gotten through and you got in record time.
Right.
Just for our viewers, we would love to hear from you. What was your favorite part of the escape room?
Ooh,
Without giving it away, this can be tricky.
Yeah,
Without giving it away.
Without giving away. I think the favorite part was the actual experience of working with people who I didn't know especially well. I'd been with them before, but trying to work as a team. And I think that comes across pretty well, that we enjoyed each other's company enough to kind of like stop the ego and sort of have a group mind meld, as it were, and to try to work towards a common effort. I think that was my most pleasure out of it, because the best thing that happens, obviously, either you accomplish your mission or you don't. So I think the joy is in getting there, and the little things that you may not know that you've accrued along the way, as far as knowledge to enable you to get to that successful mission, is the most important part. But that's I think it may be different for other people. That was for me. That was what I kind of felt, and I don't know whether while you watched that you felt that or not. But I was probably, I'm certain that I was the oldest person in the room, and I had two other members of the group who were in college, and another person whose name shall not be named because I'll get in a lot of trouble if I say anything anymore. So there you go. But the fact of the matter is that you're dealing with people who you would not normally be dealing with. Give it a business situation. How many times do you have the boss talking to people who are in their early 20s, or in the course of just regular walks of life? It doesn't happen that often. So this is a real opportunity. As I said, I think it's great to have maybe grandpa and grandma and mom and dad and the kids get together, and everybody from all different age levels to experience it together, because I think they're all going to be able to get something out of it, and also each be able to add to it as well. So that's my take on that. You know what? Believe it or not, I have one more comment. Let's see what they say. Let's see. Oh, it's Carol again.
Oh, that was the best.
All right, thank you, Carol.
That's
Well,
great.
And unfortunately, that brings us to the end of the evening. These things go by very quickly. I hope everybody enjoyed what we did tonight. Again, I want to thank all of the folks who are here tonight with us. Again, representing Cyberscape Live. And again, go to cyberscapelive.com for more information as far as it goes. And again, I want to thank Becca Chapman for being here with us. I'd like to thank also Alex Smith for him being here, and Calvin Keku as well. I want to have him come on into the room and say, y'all were wonderful guests. And I'm going to ask you to stick around for a little bit while I say goodnight to everybody else.
Thank
But,
you to you too, Alan.
All right.
Thanks, Al.
All right. I appreciate it. Y'all take care. And again, it's my time to sort of sign off. Again, I hope that everybody will take an opportunity to consider this as an outlet. First off, it helps out of work actors, which I'm always helpful, at this time of what we're going through. It helps, keep them gainfully employed, but also a lot of fun in the offing. So I hope that people will take that to mind. This coming Friday night, I know we have several other people we're trying to invite. Some of the Big Easy Award winners who have recently been named. I know that Clint Johnson will definitely be in the room talking about his successful role as the best actor in a musical for his role as the MC, the role that Joel Grey made famous in Cabaret. And so we'll see him. And I'm hoping to have several other people. I've been inviting some people to come into the room as well. I don't know yet that I can announce anyone until I have everything official, but please keep that in mind that we'll have that coming up on this coming Friday night. And I'll let you know what happens for next Monday a little bit later on in the week as we make plans as we get towards Thanksgiving. The day after Thanksgiving, we will not be meeting. That'll be the 28th. Keep that in mind that we'll be hanging though, but I'm sure everybody will have fun with family, etc. So for NOLA Theater Talk, this is Alan Smason. Again, we are broadcasting to the NOLA Theater Folk Facebook group, the theatercriticism.com Facebook page, and my own YouTube channel. I want to thank you all for being here tonight, and I will see you at the theater.